It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Monday Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 21st day of October, 2024. Show's brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie Cruises. We got several stories this morning, folks. Again, not as much as some days, but better than a couple days last week. The lead story this morning is a Royal Caribbean find. Also today, a huge fundraiser for Duffy. Massive itinerary changes for Norwegian Dawn. A Carnival Panorama first. CocoCay Tram service. A ferry dock collapses, leaving 7 dead. MSC cancels a repositioning cruise. And of course, a weather update. That and lots more this morning, live at 11 o'clock. Today, folks, is National Apple Day. Let's be healthy today, folks. I enjoy a good apple. So, let's just stay healthy today. Have a nice piece of fruit. Today in history, in 1940, Ernest Hemingway published the novel For Whom the Bell Tolls. Considered one of the best war novels ever written, the story follows a young American soldier attached to a guerrilla unit during the Spanish Civil War. I've read it. I'm not sure I would give it the same acclaim that other people do, but then I don't particularly care for war stories, but that's just me. If you're listening via the blog, you can always access the blog if you're listening via, yeah, that didn't come out right, did it? If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog. There we go. Which is accessadventure.net or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. We do this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, if anything major happens, we might do a show on the weekend as well. All right, I've been running a little off schedule this morning, so I didn't go through some of the extras that we're going to do today over and above the news. So let's get to that right now. I've heard from Pittsburgh Jason. He sent a clip in on that's on his cabin on the Celebrity Summit. Just a quick little clip. Nice balcony cabin. He loves the Celebrity Summit. So I was hoping to get him on one day to talk about celebrity. Just general information. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have here? We got a whole bunch of stuff. I got to remember where that one comes from. Oh, I know where that is. That's Johnny Quinlan. Yeah. JQ. And Johnny is talking. This was taken when he was in Costa Rica. In a little town called Tamarainda. Come on, tongue. Tamarainda, which is a sweet little surf town with lots of fun shops and eateries and whatnot. And this was one of his meals that he had in Tamarainda. All right, this would be my buddy Sylvia. Sylvia is in Miami last night for the Taylor Swift show. Now, the interesting thing about this, and the thing that I wanted to report back to you guys, if you have a ticket for a show like that is not accessible, if you go to the box office before the show, they'll exchange it for an accessible ticket. What it did for Sylvia, she had seats, that were a mile from the stage, and she ended up center section right close to the stage. Not close, but a really good seat in a handicap accessible area. Which I thought that was pretty cool. All right, this is from Bob. He was, I don't know if Bob will be here this morning or not, but he was recently on a cruise, and I missed getting these pictures up when he was on it. This is, it was 2 stops. Well, one, that particular picture is from Grand Turk, and he was also in Honduras. So that's in Rotan, Honduras. Tano Bay. I like Tano Bay myself. Nice place. Very clean. Excellent. All right. Our buddy Cory is back from Japan and in Kansas City. Stopped off at the J. Rieger Distillery, where they make a whiskey in Kansas City, locally brewed blend. So he stopped there for a little whiskey tasting. That's pretty cool. And this is from Elizabeth on location. She was in Santorini. Before she got off the ship, she got a little something to eat and maybe had a little glass of wine with that. And then she went out to explore Santorini. And she complained. She says, "Oh my God, look at my hair. It's messy." Well, that happens when you're running around and it's 30, 40 mile an hour winds. Of course, I think Elizabeth is always as lovely as ever. All right, so that's a little bit of extras this morning, folks. What else do we have here? Let's see, I did Jason, I did that. That's it. All right, I'll be back with some news after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, we're going to start off today with Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean paid the EPA $473,685 fine for violating disposal guidelines stipulated in the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. 8 vessels operated from the port of Galveston are believed to have inaccurately reported the type and amount of waste generated and incinerator ash offloaded to local landfills. According to the agency, Royal Caribbean had inaccurate amounts of offloaded solid and hazardous materials from July 2019 to July 2024. Still, the cruise line neglected to follow mandatory reporting protocols, including updating its notifications to the EPA, filing biennial reports, and maintaining adequate records of the types of waste it was producing and managing. Court documents reveal that a Royal Caribbean cruise ship generated and disposed of over a ton of hazardous or acutely hazardous waste in a month, a lower amount than the amount initially reported to the EPA. High-profile activities often make for great fundraisers, and it doesn't get any higher than thousands of feet above Tampa Bay. That's exactly where Carnival Cruise Line President Christine Duffy was on Saturday afternoon, as she earned her wings with a tandem skydive to raise funds for hurricane relief efforts. The fun event was done in coordination with the Round Canopy Parachute Team, a nonprofit honoring the history of Allied airborne forces. Also on hand and facilitating the skydive were members of the USSOCOM Paracommandos, the U.S. Special Operations Command Premier Aerial Parachute Demonstration Team. The fundraiser associated with the skydive ultimately raised more than $85,000 for the Gary Sinise Foundation and is earmarked to assist those impacted by Hurricanes Helene and Milton, including right here in Tampa. Furthermore, the funds are being matched by Mickey and Madeline Harrison Family Foundation for an additional donation to the Wounded Warrior Project, another cause Carnival Cruise Line is proud to support. I can only say congratulations to Christine for doing that. I do have to point out, folks, next time I see her, I'm going to give her hell. She's the only person I know that can skydive. Her nails look perfect. Her makeup is just perfect. Her hair's not even messed up, and she's up there jumping out of an airplane. So I'll give her just pure hell about that one. That's awesome, though. Great job. I'm not, when I was younger, I would have done something like that. I surely wouldn't do something like that now. But anyway, good job, Christine. Good cause, too. All right, guys, this is a fabulous solo deal on the Norwegian Escape, sailing November the 26th from Barcelona to Miami, with just fabulous ports of call that'll stop in Cartagena, Spain, Malaga, Spain, Funchal in Portugal, and then it goes across and stops in Antigua, San Juan, Great Stirrup Cay, and into Miami. 15 days on the beautiful Norwegian Escape. Prices start at $1,087 inside, a solo, including taxes and port charges, $1,098 outside, $2,176 balcony. All right, guys, fantastic transatlantic solo deal. It's in less than a month, so you got to make arrangements. Give me a call, 434-258-9264. The Escape from Barcelona to Miami. Multiple sailings of the Norwegian Dawn for upcoming sailings between Port Louis, Mauritius, and Cape Town, South Africa, including port visits to Madagascar and Reunion, will not be going ahead as originally scheduled. Norwegian Cruise Line has reached out to book guests to notify them of itinerary changes, which impact every port of call on at least 2 of the upcoming sailings. While the exact changes vary for the different departure dates, the extreme degree of the changes is concerning for many travelers. For example, on the ship's November 26th departure from Cape Town to Port Louis, times in every single port of call are now adjusted. The individual changes, gaining 30 minutes in Mosul Bay, arriving at Port Louis an hour later than scheduled, etc., aren't necessarily extreme, but the overall total of the changes is quite a bit. Of special concern are the complete cancellations of the visit to Point del Gallet on Reunion, which will now be a day at sea, as well as the loss of the overnight at Richards Bay, which will now just be a long day visit from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Furthermore, the shift in times for other ports of call, such as visiting Nosy Be, Madagascar on Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. instead of Tuesday from 1 to 9, can have dramatic impacts if travelers have arranged independent shore tours. Similar changes can be made for Norwegian have been made, for January 17th departure, which also has all the ports changed in one way or another, including some day shift as well as the time shifts. On that cruise, the visits to Maputo, Mozambique, and Tolenaro, Madagascar, have been completely canceled, with alternative visits added for Nosy Be and then Suriname. Carnival Panorama sailed into Manila, Philippines on October the 18th, making Carnival Cruise Line history as the first ship in the fleet to visit the Philippines' bustling capital city. Once a key trade hub during the Spanish colonial period, the city boasts one of the world's largest and busiest ports. The newly renovated vessel's 4,008 passengers and 1,450 crew were greeted at the port by a lively brass sounds of a local Zamora marching band. As the ship arrived in Manila, it became apparent that one of the two pier gangways available for the ship's guests was unsafe. This just left a single gangway for more than 4,000 travelers to use to explore the port. Some passengers noted waiting to debark the ship for 3 hours or longer due to the gangway issues, and at the same time, some on the crowded stairs and hallways were uncomfortably warm. At least 7 people lost their lives and several others were injured following the collapse of a ferry dock walkway on Sapelo Island, Georgia. The incident occurred on Saturday as visitors were attending a Cultural Day festival. The festival celebrated the island's Gula Geechee community, which is known for preserving its African heritage. The collapse happened on the island, which is about 60 miles south of Savannah and accessible only by ferry. Approximately 20 people fell into the Atlantic when the aluminum gangway gave way, prompting an extensive search and rescue operation by the Coast Guard and local emergency teams. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources, responsible for the dock and ferry service, confirmed 7 fatalities and noted that 3 individuals remain in critical condition. After some misinformation was spread online about the Tram service, a perfect day at CocoCay, Royal Caribbean is finally setting the record straight. For the convenience of cruise guests, the cruise line private island destination provides continuous tram service throughout the day, including from where the ships dock at the Arrivals Plaza. However, an official statement that went out on the Royal Caribbean app not long ago stated that this helpful transportation service would be discontinued for most guests as of October 1st, the exception being guests with disabilities. Beginning October 1st, tram service at CocoCay Pier will be discontinued. Trams for guests with special needs, wheelchairs, scooters, etc. will still be available by the end of the year, read the update. The main tram service will continue operations next to the entrance of the Thrill Water Park, continued the family-friendly cruise line. All right, so that's false, folks. That was for one day. The tram service is back in operation, just like normal, back like it's always been. MSC Cruises is canceling a repositioning voyage that was scheduled to take place on board the MSC Uribia on April the 5th, 2025. Completing a winter deployment in the Middle East, the LNG-powered ship was scheduled to offer a 28-night cruise linking Dubai in the United Arab Emirates to Kiel in Germany. According to sources in Europe, the Itinerary, which featured a transit of the Suez Canal, was canceled due to safety concerns in the Red Sea area. The ship will sail with no passengers to Germany. All right, let's take a look at the weather, folks. I'll have to start off in the Atlantic. At least there's just one storm. It's located about 5 miles east of Guantanamo, Cuba, about 60 miles west of the eastern tip of Cuba, with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour. Present movement is to the west at 2. I mean, it's just parked. The minimum pressure is 999 and steady. This was a hurricane, folks. A turn to the northwest and north is expected later today, followed by a faster northeastward motion on Tuesday and Wednesday. On the forecast track, the center of Oscar is expected to continue moving across eastern Cuba through this afternoon, then emerge off the northern coast of Cuba later today or tonight, and move near the southeastern and central Bahamas tomorrow. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to about 50 miles an hour with higher gusts. Some additional weakening is likely while Oscar moves across the mountainous terrain of eastern Cuba, but Oscar is forecast to be a tropical storm when it moves north of Cuba late today and then moves near the southeastern and central Bahamas tomorrow. Hurricane Oscar, now Tropical Storm Oscar, is spinning near the Bahamas with multiple cruise ships needing to adjust port visits even far from the storm center due to the windy conditions and rough waters. Nassau was strongly impacted by these conditions, and several ships from different cruise lines have been forced to cancel port visits on Saturday because of docking difficulties and safety concerns. Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas, Carnival's Carnival Glory, and Carnival Sunshine, as well as Disney Wish, all altered their itineraries due to the excess wind and instead offered sea days for guests to enjoy. All right, in the Pacific, we have to look at just one more issue in the Pacific, but this one's one we got to watch probably as much as Oscar. Showers and thunderstorms associated with a trough of low pressure located more than 100 miles offshore the coast of southern Mexico have become a little better organized over the past several hours. Environmental conditions are favorable for additional development. Tropical depression or storm is expected to form within the next day or so, while the system moves westward around 15 miles an hour away from the coast of Mexico. Chance of formation in 48 hours is high at 90%, and another 90% over the next 7 days. Clearly, we've got to watch that to make sure it stays away from land. With cooler temperatures and fewer visitors, the fall and winter months are among the best times of the year to visit Orlando and Kissimmee. If you're planning a trip to Disney, Universal, or SeaWorld in the near future, give your feet a rest by renting a mobility scooter with Scootaround. All Orlando mobility rentals are 15% off until October 31st of this year. Call Scootaround toll-free 888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code ORLFALL, Oral Fall, or use SRN 11137. Scootaround in Orlando. All right, guys, and that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. So let's go see who's over in the chat room giving me some grief. All right, Musa is with us. Glad you're here. Adult Mommy. Interesting name. Thank you for being here. Kenneth's with us. There's Mike on the other side of the pond. Hot Air Tom over in Richmond. Everybody speaking to each other. Low Biz Life. That's Steve out in Kentucky says hello. Everybody speaking back and forth. Kenneth asks Mike when his next cruise is. Katie says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Katie. Chillie, have you heard anything from Des or Eddie in the house? No, I haven't. I'll look into that. Joanne's with us. Good morning, Joanne. Tom, have you booked any new cruises? Kenneth wants to know. Kenneth, Mike answered the question. Not for a while yet. Not been well. Lost thousands on canceled cruises. Insurance refused to pay out. Wow, that sucks. Amy's with us. I'm on time. I'm on time. That's very good, Amy. We don't mind. But glad you're here. Jenna says, well, it sounds like insurance companies, all they want is your money when it comes to paying. Good luck. I'll tell you, speaking of that, I have two cruise guests that asked me to price out insurance for their cruise. And because they know that it's expensive to do just one cruise, they said, okay, give us the price of the cruise and give us the annual price, because it might be in our benefit just to go on and do the annual price. So I checked with them. The annual price is $280. I still can't get the price for a single cruise, and that particular cruise. I'm thinking, what's wrong with you people? I mean, you should have that at your fingertips, so I could go blink and talk to the customer and see if they want to go with the annual or go with the single. But, take care of one way or the other. Not used to insurance companies being that slow on the uptake. Hot Air says, no new cruises. We are booked through the end of 2026. Mike says, Kenneth, that's what I feel. Yes, indeed. We have a back-to-back on the breakaway in October of 26, Boston to Bermuda. There's Gretchen out in Ohio. Good morning, Gretchen. There's Gary Older and Dirt. He's down there in Florida. Hey, Gary. There's Emily. She did get out of bed. What do you know? There's Bob. Hi, Bob. By the way, Bob, if you can, drop a line. Where do you live? I was looking through things this morning and I don't find that anywhere. So just let me know where you live. Smash the like button, everybody. Thank you, Em. I appreciate that. Did anyone notice anything strange with Jason's cabin? I'm thinking, why are the beds separated? Well, I don't know. Maybe he filmed it when they first got in the room. They hadn't put them together yet. I don't know. There's Jamin. 12 days until his birthday cruise. Awesome. You're going to have to post some pictures on that. Just saying. The best way to send me stuff that I can use is Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Just saying. That's easier for me that way. And I'll use it. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Emily says hello to Todd. Gentlemen, where are you cruising to? Emily wants to know. Maybe the bed were separated before from a previous. Yeah, that's what I said too. There's Jimmy. Good morning, Jimmy. Hope it's going to be a great day for all. Thank you very much. I do too. Steve says, hit that thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Steve. Steve says, hope all is well with you, M. M says, I can never skydive, ever. Tom and Chillie can go skydiving off the Eiffel Tower in January. Boy, are you smoking wacky stuff today. Remember, they're not going to let me go up on the Eiffel Tower out here, Tom. Maybe to the second floor, but that's it. Anyway, yeah, there's going to be no skydiving on that cruise. Zero, none. Emily says maybe 1 point years ago, maybe. Yeah, well, when I was young, I did a lot of dumb things too. No skydiving. I have 3 metal body parts. Yeah, so do I. I only have 2 metal body parts, though, because they never did do my knee. Steve says, getting ready to make my final payment on the February 18th 10-day Caribbean cruise on the Enchanted Princess. Our first time going to the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean. I mean, I like wherever I am on a cruise. But I'm especially fond of the Caribbean, even though I've been to almost everywhere. And the main reason is for the biggest part of the year, it's warm. I like being warm. Get ready for the heat. Yes, indeed. Not looking forward to the heat part. Yeah, boy, I would. Kenneth says, I know why you booked a back to Bermuda. Has to do with all you can drink. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Kenneth, if he didn't pull another one of those deals with the rum and whatever. Yeah. Hot Air Tom got by with one, so it's, who knows, he might do it again. Todd speaking to M. From my last experience of the island winter weather, the weather is not that warm. Oh yeah, it is for most of the Caribbean. It's comfortable, at least. It doesn't get real cold down there anywhere. Now, obviously, it depends on how far south you are. Still, it's a whole lot better than it is in Virginia or New York. We've had some warm weather recently. Boy, I can't say that. It's been cold here. Well, it's cold at night. It's not cold. It's seasonal. You know, it's good, typical fall weather. Yeah, the upper 30s, 40s at night. But then it's getting up in the 70s in the day. So, I mean, you can't complain about that. So it beats the alternative. I mean, I don't like it to be any colder than that and white stuff falling down, that's for sure. But, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Thank each and every one of you for being here, especially you guys on X. We're up to... we hit 117 was our top number today. There we are. No, it's 115 now. So anyway, thanks guys for everybody being here. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, take this as my invitation to do so. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps the channel out a big bunch. All right, guys. That's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, And hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you back here, same time, same channel tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.